What's up, my beautiful people? How it's done? How you doing? Welcome to my YouTube channel. Come closer. We give virtual hearts. Hey, you're highly welcome. This channel basically talk about personal growth, personal development, everything that can make us be the best version of us. So that is the inner beauty and outer beauty, mental wellness, girl chat, and etc. So you're highly welcome on this channel. Oh, today is another amazing, beautiful day. I don't know whether I've ever shared this, but it's very important that we talk about it. You've heard of the saying that says, tough times don't last, but tough people last. I'm very sure you've heard about it. And hey, if I talk about it in details, it means a lot that most of the time we see tough people out there and we're like, how did these people make it through? How come others had to sink, others had to drown, but this person got out of this situation? How did they get out of it? So I just found out that a lot is behind that person that you so called. This is the tough person. If I start to talk about this topic, if you're going through a hard time, if you're going through a tough time, if you're broken, like if your heart's broken, if you lost a business, if you're just going through any hard time right now, this is the time for you. This is your topic that we're going to be sharing. And I just want you to know one thing, that when all this is happening, I just want to start with one word. Ask God, like Lord, to let you know when to give in, when to let go, and when to hold on, and when to make the right decision, when you're going to make the right decision that will keep your dignity. So it's just one prayer that you have to be praying every day when you're going through the hard time. Number one thing that we have to know, that there are very different principles that we're supposed to consider when we're going through hard times, okay? And one of them is to have a different perspective, like to put our problems in a proper perspective. What do I mean when I say proper perspective? Our coin is having two sides. So when we're saying proper perspective, we are meaning to never let our problems become an excuse. Most of the time when we're having problems, we would want to use them as an excuse for not going in front, for not taking a step. It can be failure, We all know that failure is part of the process for being successful. It's just a step, it's just a tuition that we pay for being successful. But most of us would take it as if when I fail, I've already failed, like I'm a failure. Like we reach to this conclusion of I can't make it in life, I can't do a lot for myself. But that is not the case. The case here is, how is your perspective? When you look at the coin which is having two sides, which side are you on? Are you seeing that failure as part of the process for your success, or you're seeing it on the other angle? So choose to know where you fall, especially in this moment when you're going through a hard time, and choose the side you'd want to go for. And I would obviously tell you to go for the positive side, which is the positive attitude, which is the possibility that, hey, I'm going through this tough time, but hey, you know what? It won't last. It's just for a while, and that really is another point that says every problem that is out there, it's temporary. It has a lifespan, that it's not going to be there forever. No way. You're going to go through the hard time. Yes, I can allow that. Everyone has gone through it. We have the setbacks, we have the comebacks. That's why even the mountain is having the peak and the valley is having the low key, like those low points are there. So when you know that even the mountain is having the peak, but from that valley to reach up to the peak, do you know what that mountain is like? Like the heights, the when you're climbing it, what you go through to reach the peak, and you see that beautiful view that is at the top of the mountain. So every time you're going through a tough time, just remind yourself that, hey, this is not permanent. It's temporary, and very soon I'll be through it and I'll be smiling and life will be back to normal. It's just that moment when we feel like I can't breathe anymore. I can't do anything anymore. I know some of us have gone through this situation where we feel like I can't breathe anymore, Lord. Like this is too much for me. But God gives you what He knows you can handle. And most of the time, the problems that we have, God knows we can handle. Why not? So it's not permanent, it's temporary. Another thing I want you to know, that every living human being has problems. So I don't know for you, you can tell me, maybe you don't have problems, but as far as I'm concerned, I know as me as a person, I have problems, and I know someone else is also having problems, but problems differ, there's this weighing scale that we're having with problems, and I don't know which parameters you're using to measure your problem. Someone may be crying that they don't have a job, they're unemployed, and someone else is out there having a job but they're also crying because they're waking up every morning, early in the morning, to go and work to the job actually even don't like. Like our problems differ. Someone is out there, they're crying, they want to get married, and someone is in marriage, is like, oh my god. I think people who are single are happy. So problems differ. At which stage are you having a problem, and when do you think it is a problem? So when you're living out there, I want you to know that every one of us will have problems. So don't think other people's lives, they're out there and they're perfect. Yes, social media has made it look like people are living perfectly, everything is fine, everything is kawa. Darling, we have problems. There may be healthy problems, emotional problems, spiritual problems, physical problems, whatever it is, we have problems. But how we handle it is what matters. So how do you control your problems? Do you react? Are you proactive when the problems come? Can you see that this problem, I'm in control? Can you see that this problem is out of my hand? There's nothing I can do about it. So when you start differentiating what you can do about the problem, it's very easy for you to come out of it. And hey, you're going to join that tough people class, the ones who've made it through the tough times, So make sure that once in a while, you just reflect back and you're like, hey, I went through this problem. Did I fall into it? Did I fall into that pit hole, or I came out of it? It comes with the positive possibilities. Yes, positive possibilities. Most of the time when we get problems, we only focus on the negative side. But have you ever realized that when a problem comes, when you don't focus so much on what the problem is, you end up seeing the positive side of it? Even the Bible says it, once the door closes, most of the time we'll focus our eyes on that door. Oh my god, that door has closed, but somewhere there's a window which is open. Oh, there's another door which has already opened, but you're focusing your eyes on that one thing that you've lost. It may be 10% and you're not focusing on the 90%. Your eyes are on that 10%. If it's business and you lost 10%, you're still having 90% to take care of it. Why do you focus your eyes on the 10%? Yes, it's part of the process. That's why I've said failure is just part of the process that you tried. I know we all have the fear of failure because we fear to start over, we fear to try, we fear to begin afresh. But hey, this is the only way you will learn how to be better. This is the only way you will learn how to do much better. And this is the only way you will know your capabilities and what you're good at the same time. So, what do you think? The point you have to know that is the problems that come, they have never left us the same. Those are the principles of the problems that we get in life. I rarely find people who say, oh, I was so happy that I had this thingy and it changed my life. No way. Most of the time, what changes our lives, it's actually problems. It's problems that turns around. It's the problems that is a turning point for our lives. Those dark points that we have, they're the ones that are going to turn around. You ask someone, how come you're successful? Tell us your story. And the only thing that I will tell you, yes, you're seeing that level where they are, but they take you back to the dark points, that valley where they said enough is enough. And those are the problems. But most of the time we don't want to see them because we think it's just a straight road. No, it's not a straight road. It has corners, it has the valleys, it has the hills, it has the ups and downs. So when we're at that dark point, it's when a lot happens. It's when a lot of decisions are made. That's why I've said, even when you have to make those decisions during that dark points, during those problems, during those challenges, ask for the grace to make the right decisions that are going to be very, very good for you, for your dignity, for your integrity, for everything that you're chasing around that time. So problems come and they change us. They will never leave us the same. There's no problem unless or otherwise that leaves you the same. If it leaves you the same, it will hit you again. If you don't learn a lesson from that problem, trust me, one way or the other, you will go right, left. Is north, you come back to the same problem until when you learn a lesson. When you pick your lesson, then we're good to go. The same thing to maybe us if you're doing business and maybe there's something you're not focusing on. It can be customer care. Yes, you may think, oh, my problem is maybe this business is not doing well, and you rush into another business, but it was just one problem that you didn't solve in another problem, and that is you ended up in another business and you've just transferred the same problem into another business, which was just customer care. So if you realize that you are not getting clients because of how you handle your clients, it would have been so easy. The same to the relationships. You're running off from one relationship to another, like you're touring those relationships. But have you asked yourself, what went wrong with my first relationship? Why did I have to move on that quick? Why did I have to jump from one relationship to another? Have I realized exactly what was the problem? And hey, if you realize the problem, the next time you go into another relationship, immediately perhaps you'll see that red flag and be like, I saw this coming, so I learned a lesson. What can I do? The earlier the better. Like, you get into the system, so no problem can ever leave you the same. No way. Unless if you don't want to change, unless you don't want to pick a lesson. That is it. But as far as I know, there's no problem that will come and it leaves you the same. You will cry, you crumble, you do all of it. By the end of the day, you have to pick your lesson and move on. Know when to let go, know when to hold on, and know when to make a right decision. That is like the main thing when we're on this problem challenge of tough people. They really last, but tough times don't last.